I'm here with Imran Poladi, CEO of Keller Williams Central Valley. Is that your title? I guess it's not now.
No, not anymore. I moved to Fremont, so I'm here in Fremont, California.
Okay, so I kind of looked at his website, but I knew you were the team leader here in Fremont.
Yes.
And how long have you been here in Fremont?
It's been a year yesterday.
Okay.
So.
And this is my old office. So when I was in real estate, this was the office that I was in. Imran was not here, although I did run into you at some point, along the way somewhere. But you probably
rubbed off some awesomeness on me.
But you probably wouldn't recognize me now. I look a little bit different. But anyway, I wanted to, I came here because Imran actually wanted to talk to me about Path to Awesome. And in doing that, I got to hear Imran's story, and I thought, this is exactly the kind of inspirational story that I think needs to be on Path to Awesome. So, you want to tell the folks a little bit of your story?
Yes, I survived the real estate crash.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, very inspirational. Very inspirational.
No, my story is that in 2007 I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and I went through those challenges. Prior to that, just stepping back a minute, I was one of those entitled, what's in it for me, selfish 20-something-year-olds. And I was invincible. The world was my oyster. I was going to do whatever I wanted to do, whenever I wanted to do it, on my terms. And then you go to find out that you're diagnosed with cancer, and you're told a whole different story. And my journey included being humbled and understanding what was important in the world, and going through cancer and having my wife help me through that during a time where I couldn't even help myself was absolutely humbling. It changed my entire life and really made me really understand what was important.
And I mean, at your lowest point, from some of the stories you were telling me, I mean, things got pretty rough there for you.
It was really bad. There's nothing worse than on your 30th birthday being in a bankruptcy court, in a wheelchair, bald, can't walk, losing your home and losing your cars, and claiming bankruptcy on your 30th birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, me. And that became basically the lowest point in my life. And I just said, well, there's nowhere to go but up.
And do you think, what do you think it was that kind of helped you to, you said you were feeling sorry for yourself. You were kind of,
that understatement of the century.
So at what point did you start to come back from that? I mean, was it when you got better, or was there a point you reached where you
I had mentioned this to you, but I didn't really go into detail. But for those of you watching, my low point was I went through massive depression during my cancer. And when you go through testicular cancer as a man, that takes away from you. But as it's moving through your body, it's less of worrying about being a man and more of, can I survive this? And one of the things that happened was that I was in bed probably 22 hours out of a 24-hour day. And my wife, Danielle, was helping me at that time. And I remember just laying there, not being able to do much. She took care of me a lot of the time. And I went through a depression of, why me? Why is it happening to me? And really, the turning point was laying there in bed, and Danielle was working multiple jobs in order to help us try to save our home, save our cars. And she never cried in front of me. She's an amazing woman, never cried in front of me. But I remember laying there, and I could hear her crying in the other room as she was filtering through our bills. And I went, this is it.
Yeah.
Either you're going to fight or flight. And flight, in the case of cancers, you just die and give up. And in this point, I wanted to fight. I was tired of living a mediocre life. I wanted something more. And I wanted to repay her back for everything that she did during the time where I couldn't do anything for myself. And that was the turning point for me, where I said, the word potential was always used for me.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was not the path to awesome.
Yeah.
Potential means that people see that you can do it, but for one reason or another, you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, the word potential is kryptonite now.
Yeah.
Because that means that I'm not doing something that I'm fully capable of doing. And now that I've got both arms, both legs, I can run, jump, and play again, it's time to really get back and help people that can't do that.
Well, and I think, the big point for me is that, with a lot of people you talk to who go through something in life, something major, whether it's cancer, whether it's losing everything, whether it's a death in the family, or a spouse or a child, or so many other things. You hit that point, and you kind of, some people go one way, some people go another way, but that event is this thing that can shape your whole life. How does somebody maybe who hasn't gone through something incredible like that make that decision to just change?
Well, I hope that nobody goes through that.
Yeah,
I hope nobody goes through what you go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen tomorrow to somebody. It's going to happen tomorrow. Well, it's not tomorrow.
Yeah.
It gets there eventually. Not tomorrow. Hope you don't get to 440 in one day. But the point is that it's going to happen in the future again. So those events we can't stop.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take an event like that in order for you to make a change in your life. I think of a story of somebody that inspires me. As a team leader here in Fremont, I hear stories, and when I came to introduce myself to the group, I'm in front of 70 or 80 agents or so, and I'm telling my story, and one of the guys comes up after the meeting and says to me, Imran, what you told me you were able to overcome has really put me, has it in perspective. I was ready to give up. I said, what's going on? And he says, I lost everything. I lost my home. I lost my cars. My wife and I had separated, and I'm ready to give up. But after hearing your story, I'm ready to really take charge of my life again. And this guy has sold 12 transactions this year. Now remember, this is a guy who had sold 0 the year before. And it wasn't because of me. I mean, I didn't sell any homes. I didn't show any property for him. This was 100% him. But there was that one story that made him change. And the interesting part about it was his story is inspirational to me. I won't share it because I don't have his permission. But just when you think that it's not an inspirational story, to somebody else it is.
Yeah,
and that's where it changed me. I heard his story, and while it wasn't cancer, it wasn't losing a massive amount of weight in order to stay alive, his story was still inspirational to me. And in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem like something that would be inspirational. But it depends on who your audience is.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. So many people don't get. I get that losing the weight is great, but to me, I don't see the level of inspiration that so many pourings of letters and emails and text messages and phone calls that I've gotten. But what I do see is the stories from other people who are now inspired to go do something. And so your story may inspire somebody else. So you can be the example. And the whole thing is, you've got to just make a decision to change. In fact, that's why my YouTube channel is Make the Decision. Is you've got to make a decision to change, to do whatever it is that you're going to do. And you can only control one thing. You cannot control all of the outside influence. You can't control whether or not you get cancer. You can't control all of the things going on in the world, whether it be that you're in real estate and the real estate market is changing. But what you can control is your own actions. What you can control is how you react to these outside things that are happening.
I'm going to add to that. One thing that you can control that people don't really put into their mind is that you have to surround yourself with the right group of people. And I'm going to say this, and it could be offensive to some of the people that I've been associated with in the past, but I really had to cut ties with people that put me in situations that weren't positive for me.
Absolutely.
It sounds kind of weird, but losing weight, 440 pounds, you can't go to Chuck E. Cheese and expect to continue losing the weight. You have to change the behaviors, and part of the behaviors are disassociating yourself with people that aren't supportive of your change or helping you with what needs to be done, or they're not truly there, or maybe they're even jealous that you're making a change and they're not able to make that change because they don't have the strong will. And born and raised in a city of Stockton, I had to really change a lot of the people that I hung out with and the behaviors, and it was tough.
Yeah.
Because these are people that you grow up with, but at the same time, in order to be better, you gotta put yourself in a better situation. So surrounding yourself with supportive people is probably one of the most important changes that you need to make on your path to awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree 100%. If there's people in your life that are discouraging you from taking risks and getting outside the box. I mean, I think one of the biggest things that I learned over the years was, especially training for a marathon and getting myself to a point where I could lose the weight, was I had to be uncomfortable. I had to be uncomfortable. So you got to step outside your comfort zone, and sometimes that means maybe separating from people that you're comfortable with but who hold you back, and it means doing things that maybe you didn't think that you would do before, and not being afraid. But surrounding yourself with the right kind of people, I think, is a big part of that. And I'm glad I met Imran today. Like I said, we've met before, but got to spend a little time with Imran, and I definitely consider you a friend and looking forward to chatting with you more and getting to know you better.
I'm excited with what he's doing, guys. For those of you that are watching, I'm telling you right now, this guy is the path to awesome, and he inspires a lot of people. I put this video on Facebook yesterday. Peter sent me just a quick IM saying, "Hey, Imran, can you get this out there?" I got it out there, and in just one day, we got almost 200 something views. In just one day, it doubled the view count because people are re-putting out your story and your video, and they're inspired by it.
Yeah,
which is gotta make
awesome.
me feel good.
It's great. It makes me feel great.
I don't know what other word to use than awesome.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word, and that's the whole idea. It's not about getting to awesome. It's just about being on the path. It's about the journey, and I think both of us have said that today. So get on the journey to whatever it is you want to do. It's the beginning of 2012. So if you're thinking about how you want to look back on this year in December and go, what did I do? What did I accomplish? This is your chance. Start thinking about it, and get out and make that step today. If it's about losing weight, then go take a walk. Start thinking about what you're going to eat this week. If it's about starting a business or getting more real estate transactions or whatever it is, take those steps right now today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait till the timing is right. It'll never be right. Go out and do it today.
And make sure that the goals are attainable. A little bit of a stretch, but not that.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to throw at you, and it happened to me yesterday, and I was amazed by this. You're watching at home, so I want you to put your hands up as high as you can. All right? And so as high as you can. Now go another inch more. Why are we able to do that? It's because when we're pushed by somebody else, like a coach or a Peter or an Imran, we're somehow able to do a little bit more than we thought that we can do. And you thought your hands were all the way up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did I.
That's great. I'm definitely. We're gonna do that some more. I like that. All right. Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And make 2012 the best year you can.
Thanks, guys.
Your life.
Okay, we're approaching the mile 1 marker here at the Honolulu Marathon.